Okay, how does a 49-year-old guy like myself find the words to talk about Power Girl? Because it, you almost can't because it's so laughable because of the character, Wally Wood's creation, what he was doing with her top, and just the adolescent appeal of the character herself. That's going to be obvious for straight old white guys like myself. Nevertheless, I'm going to try and talk about the new Power Girl books because I tell you something. I love these. I love these books. I always like the character. I like the character for the spunk, right? And there's been some great. The Amanda Connor stuff was a lot of fun, but this new series with Leah Williams, I'm a big fan now of Williams and the writing and how she can convey what she's trying to convey with the character that I'm sure so many would want to shy away from just because it's Power Girl, and that's where Power Girl is Power Girl. I get my wife makes fun of me for talking about this, and it's well deserved, right? When we look at Power Girl, and we'll look at Power Girl this way, as appealing as this front cover is for people like me. It reminds me that the appeal of superhero comic books, especially teen books, is about a family dynamic. The appeal a lot of superhero books have for somewhat alienated, whether if it's real or not, the feeling of alienation that a lot of teens, including myself, back in the 90s, when you feel alienated, you feel like you don't belong, right? There's not a place for you, and then you find these books in these worlds that you can go to, and these characters are always existing, especially in comic form, and they never age, and then they variations of them exist here and there and bounce back and forth, and the imagination just runs wild from there. That got away from the family appeal too, but the larger it's all layered, right? You get into this world. But the teen books specifically, I love Justice Society, Teen Titans, X-Men. More specifically with X-Men, obviously, you really have an alienated group, right? But even with the Teen Titans and Justice Society is the first group. Anyway, people feeling like they belonged. And you had this extra layer with the JSA and Power Girl in particular. And what appealed to me that it was another parallel world within this imaginary world to begin with. So you only saw them in a few appearances. But you did have Infinity Incorporated. That was a long-running book by Roy Thomas. And then you had Power Girl, a character that only exists because of the outfit. That's why we kept Power Girl after Crisis. We got rid of Supergirl. We need to have this character. And she was really put on the back burner for a long time in the 90s. She became part of Justice League International and the incarnations it had before the JLA books. She was in Sovereign 7, which was a Marv Wolfman creator-owned book. They just bounce her around. And then she had this yellow outfit, and she did a Green Lantern crossover. I think it was Green Lantern crossover. And then she made her way into Birds of Prey for a while. And then gradually, Jeff Johns finally did something with her in the JSA run, which I'm kind of looking at right now on the shelf over there. And then gradually, this character became this linchpin between what people remembered about Earth 2 and what they liked, and then, good, bad, right, or wrong, whatever excuse you want to give about the top, and even Williams attempts to give it a go, because you have to. For some reason, she survived, and we can argue about if she survived only because of the window, right? And others have done that a lot better than I have or am going to touch. But if you're talking about a family dynamic with the character, regardless of how you got to appreciate the character, right? you see I almost said Supergirl, Power Girl as a totally alienated and lost character who may not have ever had a personality of her own, right? Pausing for dramatic tension. And, she shifts back and forth. She can never find her place. Jeff Johns writes her in the JSA as having a diary with all blank pages. She's existing, but she doesn't know why. She's told that she is this, but then she's that. And, Power Girl kind of charts what has happened in DC Comics for the last 30 years or so. Definitely the past 40 if you want to bring in Crisis. And there's been a lot done to give this character depth. Even in New 52, I like the Huntress Power Girl crossover. So I don't know. I'm only talking his background for myself, because following the character for so long, you don't need those updates, but you get an essence of, regardless of what incarnation a character is, we get the essence of the character. We know that this is the baggage. Only secondary characters have the baggage. Well, Batman's in a whole other category. But they'll say Huntress, Power Girl, both the Earth 2 characters happen to be some of my favorites. There's something about parallel realities. Maybe it's because they didn't get as much, too many books. They weren't featured a lot, like the Crime Syndicate as well, but I haven't even caught up on. Long story short, this is somebody looking to belong and has never felt they belonged, because when they did belong, that world was shattered and done away with. Hence the Earth 2 version of the Justice Society. So here we are, Power Girl again. We had a lot of fun with her. We did New 52. They did this whole other Earth 2 thing. She was in and out. I've lost track of all of that. All those earth-shattering narratives. I don't even care anymore. This is what I want to read. This is where they're at. And this is the pivotal scene for me with the Leah Williams Power Girl. This got me right here and this is in Power Girl Returns. This is where we see a shift in the character. She feels like she's just a copy of Supergirl, which she is, and doesn't want to feel accepted. And right here, this gets to me. This tells me, this made me a Leah Williams fan right here. Going through all of this, being spunky, being on the defensive, building walls. Pain is pain, right? And this line here, plus what you can do in a word balloon with the phrase okay. This takes the character away from just the world of ephemera comics as they are, and everything that's wrong with it, and it brings the essential element of why people still read this stuff. Regardless of any superhero bashing you want to do, or how many Marvel movies you don't like, or anything else, or how angry you are that you feel like your childhood's been taken away, whatever. Right? There will always... I don't know how to end the sentence, but this should speak for itself. This is about belonging. This should make the most cantankerous individual that fits my demographics, right? Just shut up for a while. But accepting that you are loved is a tough thing for anyone to do. So there's a lot of all of us in Power Girl. We're feeling particular ways, and this panel brings it home to me. So I'm a big Leah Williams fan now. This is the first I've read of her stuff. I know she did some Scarlet Witch stuff. I might catch up on that later, but she knows how to capture the essence of Power Girl, and just understanding that baseline, alienated, lost, not accepted feeling that so many of us have, even if we can easily fit into boxes. So there's something universal here with this one. So if any of that made sense, that's how I'm coming down on the Leah Williams Power Girl books. Give them a read, just on a human level. They're fun. I like the interactions. The first half of this was great. There was a so-so story at the end, and then you get Sparky the cat is back too. So big fan of the Power Girl. Go pick up some Power Girl. Let's do this decent, right? Go pick up the Power Girl. Give it a read. If you were already a fan, I can't see how this wouldn't make you feel so much better about the character getting on a trajectory, on a track, being a part of something rather than just outside of it. All right, those are my too long time thoughts on Power Girl. I even wrote about him a bit. Check this out. This is I don't know how many words I did on it, but I'm writing about it for myself. There it is. Don't quite know how to come down yet, but it was a fun read. Go buy Power Girl. All right.